Welcome to Target 55. This is more complicated synthetic division. The reason why it's considered to be more complicated is because we have a 2 in front of that x right there instead of just a plain old x minus 3. So this 2 makes it a little bit more complicated, and we need to be able to do that. So we're going to take this polynomial divided by this factor, and our answer, it says what are the other factors. Our answer is going to look like something like this: something times something times something. One of those is 2x minus 3, and we just have to find the other two. Now there is a small typo in this problem. This needs to be a minus 43x, so please change that or adapt your problem to make sure you put a minus right there if you want to solve this correctly with us. So now the first challenge is figuring out what goes in your synthetic division box. Most of you are using synthetic division, so I'll cover that here. We need a root to put in here. When I look at this, if this 2 wasn't there, I would know the root was just automatically 3, because that's what makes it 0. 3 minus 3 makes 0. But now that the 2 is there, you have to think about it this way. 2x minus 3, when does it equal 0? And then you solve that little baby equation. Add 3 to both sides, you'd have 2x equals 3, divide by 2, and x equals 3 halves, or 1.5 if you prefer the decimal. I'm going to stick with 3 halves. Put 3 halves over here in the box, list out my coefficients: 2, negative 1, negative 43, and 60. Bring down the 2. Then synthetic division is all about multiply by the number below the line with the number in the box. So multiply these two together. Then you write that answer here. So 3 halves times 2 is 3. Add going down. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Multiply, you get 3. Add, you get negative 40. Multiply, add, multiply, add. Multiply, you get negative 60. Add, woohoo, you get 0 in the remainder box. Now, here is where the trick comes in. You need to remember that because there is a 2 in front of that x, I need to divide my answer by 2. And then this would be 1, 1, and negative 20. That's the trick. That's what makes this so challenging, is because people forget to do that step. Now this tells me I have 1x squared plus 1x minus 20. That's what I need to factor. And once I factor that, then I've got this problem done. Factoring is not too bad. We've been doing it all year. Put the first number in the first box, so this is my first number, x squared. Put the last term in the last box, that's minus 20. Multiply those two together, and you get negative 20x squared. You haven't used this one yet, so it goes in the box. That's like having 1x. Two numbers that multiply to negative 20 and add to 1. Multiply to negative 20 and add to positive 1 would be 5x and negative 4x. So I bring those back and put them in the box, and it doesn't matter where you put them. And then on the outside, I put my dimensions. The only way to make x squared is x times x. This would have to have been 5, so that top part is x plus 5. And then 5 times what number makes negative 20 in the corner? This would have to be negative 4. There are my two factors, x minus 4 and x plus 5. And then along with my original one that I had from the beginning of the question, which was 2x minus 3, so I put the 2x minus 3 on here, and there is my fully factored form using the synthetic division. Again, the trick to this is like 3 things. 1, notice that this is a 2 out front, therefore solve it equal to 0, get the root. That's the first trick. Get the root, put it in the box. Then the second trick is, after you do all this work, you have to remember to divide by 2. Because there was a 2 in front of the x, divide by 2. Then that gives you your answer, and the third and final trick is factor that so you get it down to the other two parts. Then you have all 3 factored portions, and that's how you factor something that has a more complicated divisor, something that you're dividing into that polynomial.